Hey guys, welcome to the studio and Happy New Year! This is my first video since 2017 has started, so I'm excited to share with you templates. Yeah, I know. And I think starting with templates at the new year is a good place to be because it's always for me like the start of new series, planning out what I'm going to be doing for the year. And also if you're just starting to learn how to hand build plates or any other forms, templates are the beginning. That's where you need to start at. So beginning of the year, beginning to make plates, templates. All right, so templates can be as simple or as difficult as you make them. If you do not know how to make templates and you don't have any desire to learn how, you can just buy things, objects, to use as your templates. You can use other plates, you could use pre-made templates that they sell through ceramic suppliers, or what I like to do and teach my students is these lovely cake boards. They're easy to find, most hobby stores have them. I got this pattern a couple of years ago, I would say 2 or 3 years ago from Michaels. I don't know if they still carry this particular pattern. I'll turn around so you're not distracted by the writing. It's a really nice scroll with these little points and I do love it. It's a bit fancy, but if you don't know what a cake board is, it's exactly what it says it is. It's a board that when you make a cake, you serve the cake on, like decorative cake boards. And they come in all different patterns. So that's one way to use a template. Simple, it's pre-made, it's out there, it's easy. And you know what, they come with two sides, cardboard, and then one side's usually this laminate. The laminate is sticky, so I always use the cardboard side as the side that's against the clay. All right, so that's one way. The other way is to make your own templates. Now, I make my own templates based on historical pieces. So what I do is I do a bit of research first, and I will go online and I will find a bunch of images of plates or platters, just things that I'm interested in that fit my style of working. You should do the same. Don't do what you think someone else likes, do what you like. So I found this one right here, which I really love the pattern. It kind of looks a bit like the cake board pattern. If you look at the key elements to it, it has these scrolls and these points, except it has a lot more of them. And I like that. So this is going to be a plate that I make a template from for a new series I'll be working on in the coming year. I'm not going to make this template right now today. What I'm going to do is show you how to get to a template. So this right here, another plate that I found recently that I really like. It is just your regular old pretty transferware, very French porcelain. In fact, this is a Sèvres porcelain piece. And what I did is I printed it out and then I fold it in half because I want my sides to be symmetrical. And I noticed that the patterns I gravitate to are symmetrical. You can fold them in half and one side is the same as the other. So what I do is the first thing is, while it's still the big sheet, I fold it, I find the center. Let's see, is this one symmetrical? It is. So here's the other thing. They're not photographed completely always in the center. Like sometimes they're off. So if you just cut this outline out, you might not get a symmetrical plate. You might have to kind of wiggle a bit on it. You don't want to do that. So what I do is I find the center and I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go here to here on the inward points. And I fold along there. And I'm going to pick one half that I'm going to focus on and ignore the other half. So I have one half that'll be perfectly symmetrical. I'm just going to line up my fold. This is the only really key part, is that you get your line where you want it, because what I'm going to do next is determine the whole shape of the plate. All right, so apparently paper wants to fight with me today. No, it says. I won't fold symmetrically. Ta-da! All right, now this one that I used, it's not a good quality. You can see there's a lot of pixelation. And so what I'm going to do is I am just going to use my pen here, and you can use a Sharpie, and I'm just going to trace a nice thick black line around my shapes so that I have a definite edge. I know that I'm going to cut exactly on this black line. And you can see how I folded the plate. It's not even, meaning the other half of the plate isn't centered directly under it. See? It's like, what? but you want that. So if you look, you see the little black line I drew? You can just see the black line that I drew there. So now I'm gonna cut from the side that I drew the line on. I'm just gonna follow that around. And if you wanted to do a plate that you wanted it in quadrants, just fold it in half again and pick 1/4 of the plate, draw your line for that, and then cut that. So when you unfold it, you will have 4 equal sections that the pattern will be the same throughout. And that's how you can get these really cool, complex looking profiles when in fact they're easy. All it has to do is be symmetrical. I do some patterns that are folded into 8ths, some even in a 16ths, and then you can get really crazy. So when this is done, I will have a paper template that I can then either laminate. I can laminate, or I can do it myself with like clear packing tape, or you can get it laminated. All right, so here's 1/2 of the plate. Fold it open. There's the whole plate. So let me put it up against something so you can see. See the pattern. Nice. So that's what I have for this new plate shape. Now I have a template, but it's tiny. This isn't gonna work for me. I need something bigger. So then you have to scale it up, which I do a lot. This started out as a smaller, as you can tell, as a smaller plate, and I scaled it up. And actually this one I've scaled all the way up to 15 inches across. So you can make them as big as you want. It's just scaling. It's not a big deal. All right, let's go with this guy, because this is the one I'm actually gonna use for today's project. So I wanna make this bigger. I'm folding a sheet of newspaper over, so let's see. I know I want it to be at least this big. I'm just gonna make some registration marks. I know that from here to here would be the diameter of the larger plate that I wanna make. So if I fold this in half, my center line will be what I'm gonna work on. Okay, so now that I have a center, I'm gonna take my plate, I'm gonna line that up on the center as well. And I can do it a couple ways. I can initially trace the first line that I have here, which I'm doing kind of quick and messily. Yeah, that's very messy. Or what I can do, which I neglected to grab, is use my compass and set it for, depending on how much bigger, let's see how much larger that is. I would say that's 1 inch larger all the way around, maybe 1.5 inches, and set my compass for that, and then draw that a line. Draw a line with that. Boy, first video back, it's gonna be a little rusty, guys, sorry. That's what happens when you take holidays off and, you know, get out of practice of recording yourself doing stuffuses. All right, so I'm freehanding this. Yeah, it's not precise, but I think I'll be okay. Now this is not a full inch, this is a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, I'm gonna go a little bigger. Yeah, just sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, no, I really need this plate to be bigger, so I'm just gonna shadow along. This one's not such a complicated pattern that I need to use the compass, but on this one here, when I get to this one, I will definitely use the compass. There is a lot of really precise turns in that I want to translate perfectly. Okay, all right, so now I've got a mess of lines on here. What? Yeah, I do. So I'm gonna rough cut this off just so it's easier to work with. All right. And that's just a sheet of 18 by 24 newsprint. It's very inexpensive. I always have a pad in the studio. Great to sketch and draw with. All right, so I'm gonna just go along. Cut this out. There's a lot of watching me cutting in this video. How to cut paper with Jessica Putnam-Phillips today on YouTube. Ta-da! All right. So that's the shape I got. Very subtle. You see the difference? A very subtle plate. Now let's see how it is for sizing. Oh yeah, that's about perfect. Like they're almost the same size. So this is good. I'm happy. And they're similar in shape. The only difference being these points are sharp, these points are softly rounded. So yay! All right, now to get to this step. This is just craft foam, really simple to find. Everybody has it. It comes in packs like this. This is, I think, 11 by 14 inches. I got a whole bunch of different colors. At first I thought, ooh, I'll color code my sizes, so all of my small 8-inch plates will be yellow, and then my medium 10-inch plates will be blue, and then blah, blah, blah. And you know, that didn't happen, because who wants to actually do that? Like, the idea was great, but in practicality, I've got too much stuff going on. Okay, I do want to make a slight minor adjustment. My little points on the ends where it was folded were a little sharp, so I just took them down a bit. Perfect. Blow that stuff. I'm going to work on this side so I don't have the distraction. So this step sometimes is unnecessary. If you take your newsprint and you laminate it with packing tape or put it through a laminator, you could use this. It will last, it's fine, but it's still just a piece of paper with some thin plastic on each side. It's not going to hold up very well. The craft foam holds up really well. It gives you something to draw your craft knife or clay knife against while you're working. You could even take this template, transfer it onto a piece of wood, and if you can use a saw, a scroll saw really well, you could cut one out. I do not use saws very much. You know, that's one of those rules for me. Do not play with saws, because I tend to get hurt. So I'm sketching along the border of that line right here. Oh gosh, you guys are lucky today. You're gonna get to see me cut again. Like, this is the third thing I've cut for you. So if you're a big favor of cutting with scissors on paper and craft foam, this video is definitely for you. And if y'all didn't know, I live in Vermont, where we are frigidly cold and covered up in snow right now. So if you're watching this in July, just imagine, you know, a beautiful snowy day in the countryside of Vermont, all of like 12 degrees outside with a wind chill of about 4. So, you know, that'll make you feel better if wherever you are is like 90 degrees and you're melting. So that's now my template. Maybe I'll go back in the summer and watch this video and be like, that is crazy cold. Why do I live here? Actually, I love the snow. I truly love snow. I don't love being cold, but if you have a good heater, you're all set. All right, because this is my final version, meaning I've already done my drawing template, like I had my original image template, which was this, and then I had my newsprint template, which was this. This is the actual one that is going to get used on clay. So this is the real deal. So I want to take my time. I want to cut a little neater on my lines, because this is going to determine what all my plates look like. And I actually have a plan for these plates. I have an exhibition coming up next month, and I know it's late, but I'm trying to get one last installation piece made consisting of 9 plates, and it will be this shape. I'm cutting it a bit close. I have 4 weeks to the opening, so we're gonna see if I can actually get it done. It's okay if I don't finish it, because I have plenty of work for that show, but you know, it's always that one last thing. It's like, oh, if only I can squeeze this in, I'm gonna try. And here's my last cut. And then I'm gonna look at the template and decide if I have to make any more adjustments. There. Okay, so there's the template. I know it doesn't really look like much. Get up close. But you can see these little bumps. They'll be very subtle right now, but when I cut them out of clay, you'll really notice them. So that's it. That's how you can make a template. And it's simple. Just find some images of plates that you like, and then cut out your image, make a newsprint template, which you can either laminate or make a craft foam template from it. Your choice. So here you go. Some options. And you know, if these don't work for you and you've watched this video and you're like, there's no way I'm gonna do all that stuff at all, right here. cake boards. Right there. That is for you. Find yourself some cake boards. Start there. All right, guys. I hope this video is helpful to you all. I love reading your comments. I try to respond to everybody. If I haven't gotten to you yet and you've posted on a video recently, I'm sorry. I will get there. I'm a little behind because of the holidays and other crazy stuff going on in my life right now, but I promise I will get to you. And take care. Leave me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribing yet, go ahead. Subscribe. You won't regret it. I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.